Hi again. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to go over derivatives, but this is very basic, just for students who just started calculus or they just finished limits and stuff, and then they're going to do the derivatives using the definition of derivatives, the difference quotient. But I'm going to go straight into derivatives, how you take derivatives. So I'm just going to do some basic questions. Some are a little bit more advanced, but mostly basic. Because I got a few students sending me questions, and they're just starting derivatives and they're kind of confused. So there you go. Just stay tuned. So the first thing that we need to know about derivatives, if we have a function y equals x to the power of a could be any exponent, any number, any whole number, or fraction, it doesn't matter. To take the derivative, which is dy dx, what you need to do, you need to bring the exponent down. So you get a, then you have x, and take away 1 from the exponent. So that's how you do derivatives. Okay, so you bring the exponent down and take away 1 from the exponent. So let's say they give us y equals x squared, and they want me to do the derivative. So dy dx would equal 2. You bring the exponent down and take away 1 from the exponent, and that will give you y equals 2x. Okay, so this is first basic example. How about if we have y equals 4x cubed, then dy dx, also we call the derivative y prime. So you could see, you'll be seeing that in some of the textbooks, and your teachers will be using it. So it's y prime, means dy dx, or the derivative. You bring the exponent down. So when you bring that down, be 4 times 3, which gives you 12. And then you take away 1 from the cube, you get x to the 2, and that's the derivative for that one. Also, I must mention to you that if you have y equals 5, for instance, and you're doing y prime, which is the derivative of dy dx, the derivative of a constant is always 0. So just know that if you have a constant and you're taking the derivative, it's going to be 0. Okay, so that's something to know. Also, now we'll do a few that are a little bit more challenging than the ones that we did so far. How about if we have y equals the square root of x cubed? Now, what do? Can we bring the 3 down and take away 1? Well, we have a square root on this. So you can't do that unless you change this into exponential form. So if you want to change this to exponential form, it becomes x to the 3 halves. So x to the 3 halves, because there's a 2 there, and that's how you change from radical to exponential form. Now you could do y prime or dy dx. And dy dx here will be bring the exponent down, the same rule, and take away 1 from the exponent. Now you know with fractions, this is the same as 3 over 2 minus 2 over 2, because if you do in common denominator, that becomes 2 over 2. So you get 3x to the 1/2. How about if we have y equals 2 over x to the 3? So now what do? Do we bring the 3 down and just take away 2? No, you cannot do that. You could only do that if the x was on top. So the first thing you want to do is bring the x to the top, so this becomes 2. And when you bring x to the top, the exponent becomes -3. Now you could take y prime or dy dx, bring the -3 down. -3 times 2 is -6. X to the -4, because you're taking away 1 from the -3. And therefore, this will be final answer as -6 over x to the 4. Now, how about if we have f of x brackets x minus 3x squared all to the power of 4? Now, we have to use what we call the chain rule. So if I'm going to do this, I want to go f prime of x, that's indicating you're doing the derivative, equals, you bring the 4 down, and you keep that inside the same for now, x minus 3x squared, and then take away 1 from the 4. So that's what you do first, but doesn't stop there. Now you have to go on the inside, which is here, and start taking the derivative of this. The derivative of x is just 1, because you have a 1 there. 1 minus 1 is 0. X to the 0 is 1. Minus, and here you bring the 2 down, you get 6x, and you take away 1 from the 2, and you get x to the 1, and that's it. So if you want to write this as 1 minus 6x brackets x minus 3x squared to the power of 3. So that's called the chain rule, which means you bring that exponent down outside the brackets, take away 1, but then you have to go in here and take the derivative of what's inside, which gives you 1 minus 6x. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do for derivatives, just for students who are just starting to do starting to do derivatives, and they kind of want to know how this goes. I think they'll start getting a bit stuck when it comes to chain rule, and then eventually you're going to do product and quotient rules. We'll cover that in another session, but today just basic. I hope this helps everybody that's doing calculus and watching my YouTube videos. As always, thank you for watching again. The next time, bye-bye.